everyone, I am Neza and we are studying History of English Literature and Language. Recently we are going through the series of Old English period and ancient history of Britain. So in our previous video we have discussed what is English literature and literature in English with geography of Europe. Then we have discussed about people of England and the main countries and their properties. Now we are going to discuss the first invasion of England, that is Roman invasion. When Romans came to Britain, this was called as the Romans Britain. Romans tried to invade the England 3 times in the history. First in 55 BC under the leadership of Julius Caesar, who was the dictator of Rome and wanted to get the fame by occupying the England. Military killed thousands of people and destroyed their culture. Caesar made no conquest in Britain, but he marked the beginning of the process. In 54 BC, Caesar returned to Britain with a much larger army. He landed in Kent. Kent is one of the 7 lands that was separated by the invasion of Anglo Saxons and Jews. They demonstrated the strength and the power of the Rome. Caesar agreed to leave the Britain, but only if the tribes agreed to make a tribute, a payment to the Rome. In 43 AD, Emperor Claudius launched a third and final invasion of Britain. A large battle was fought between the Romans and the Celtic tribes near to the river Medway. Romans won the battle and took the control over the Britain, and thus it became the Romans Britain. During the reigns of the Romans, they made a wall in 122 AD. It took 14 years to complete that protected and separated the Britain and Romans from Picts of Ireland and Saxons. It was a stone barrier. A famous Celt warrior was Queen Boudica, who started to raise her power against the Romans when they invaded Britain. Historians think that she poisoned herself when her soldiers were losing. It is now clear to us that Celts are the people who lived in England from 600 BC to 43 AD. Christianity started to spread in Roman Empire. Jesus was born almost in between 6 to 4 BC. With the birth of Jesus, Christianity started to spread in Rome and nearby areas. With the arrival of Roman people in England, they took Christianity to England. Before Romans, Celts were pagans. They were worshipping different gods. So the question is there, why all these Romans, Anglo Saxons, Vikings and Normans wanted to attack on England? The answer is very simple. First, due to the circumstances and the time period, people were not civilized and educated. Lands were their first priority. They wanted a land full of resources and safe shelters. That is why they called barbarians, having no religion, and also called the war people. Secondly, England was the land of territories. It has underground gold and shells on its shore with suitable atmosphere to live in. Because of these 2 reasons, England has always been on the spot of attackers. England has been invaded by the 4 main different groups: Romans, Anglo-Saxons, Vikings and Normans. We are studying the history of England from the very beginning so that we have a clear understanding of each and everything. They occupied the England and then in 410 AD they left. The question is why they left the England. Their homes in Italy, Rome, were being attacked by Picts and Saxons, so all the brave soldiers were needed to protect their precious homes. Britain became helpless because they didn't have a strong army and weapons to protect themselves. With increased invasion from the Saxons, Scots, Picts and Angles, Britain turns to the Roman Emperor Honorius for help. He writes back telling them to look to their own defenses and refuses to send any help. This letter marked the end of the Roman Britain. So let's have a look on this number line. This is the number line. When we talk about the time period BC, it was a time period when Jesus Christ was born. And when we talk about the time period AD, this is the time period after the birth of Jesus Christ. The time period from 6 BC to 4 BC, we move in number line or in time period from higher to lower time period. Like 6 to 4 BC, we will move 6 to 4 BC. This time period was the time period when Jesus Christ was born, and 600 BC when we move from 600 BC to 43 AD, this was the time period that is called the Iron Age. And that Roman Britain was a time period from 43 AD to for 1080. So till now we have gained the concept of what English literature is and how this field is connected with Great Britain and United Kingdom in episode number 1. Then we are informed by who were the people in England when even England was not known by its name. It was just a place, and about the main countries that are important to know in episode number 2. This is the episode number 3 in which we have discussed the first invasion of England and get an idea about the Roman Britain. In episode number 4, we have discussed all the important information of Anglo Saxons period. In episode number 4, we have discussed all the important information that is very necessary about the Anglo Saxons time period. In episode number 5, we will discuss the third invasion of England. That will be about the Vikings, and then hope so the fourth and the last invasion of the England in Old English period, that will be Norman conquest in 1068. In episode number 6 we will discuss the literature produced during the Old English period, and will finish our first linguistic and literary period in history of English literature and language. Till then, stay tuned with me. Kindly subscribe this channel so that we will meet again and again with a new episode of English literature. Take much care of yourself because you are the one that is important in your life.